So when working with sites, these are the systems and workflows and workarounds that we hear about most often. You have access, getting actual access to the outside imaging, and then once you get that outside imaging and the images themselves, getting them uploaded to the sponsors, the anonymization, de-identification, and then each sponsor wanting their own separate things de-identified. Some sponsors want visit ID, visit scan date removed, and some don't. Some want age removed, and some don't. And how are you supposed to keep track of that? I was dedicated staff for that at Yale. A lot of our sites have dedicated FTEs just to manage this piece and the anonymization and upload to sponsor databases. And then we've got spreadsheets that need to be set up by team members. How many of you are still using spreadsheets to manually track any part of your imaging workflow? If you want to raise your hands to that.
Let's see hands. How many people use a spreadsheet?
How many people are still using spreadsheets right now, if you want to raise your hand, to manage any part of your imaging workflow for clinical trials?
Oh, what about paper?
And paper? Sticky notes. We just had a sticky note client. Yeah. These are often set up by team members who aren't familiar with the response criteria or imaging or have that medical background because of a lack of radiologist involvement. So you're having them set up an Excel tumor grid with all of these specific criteria details and modifications and percent changes that lead to overall responses, and they don't have that type of background. So that can lead to protocol noncompliance, eligibility issues, patients being put on studies that they shouldn't be, and then issues with treatment decisions because they're being kept on study by meeting progression standards, but it's not being clear in the Excel document. That leads to just a general lack that we hear a lot of radiologist engagement and lack of details from them where they feel like they don't know the clinical trial protocols. A lot of our customers that we've brought on board recently, we had one radiologist say it took them 3 days. They had the scans available, but it took them 3 days to know what the response criteria was. So that was the delay there. They didn't know what the criteria was, what the protocol required, how the biopsy lesions were handled, and it took days just to get that information. Organization of general shared drive folders. We've had one site recently, it took them a month just to get access to a shared drive folder in order to help facilitate the imaging review and managing all the subfolders within that and who gets access to that within the individual cancer centers and disease teams. Paper binders. I know a lot of you are still dealing with actual paper binders, sticky notes, storage units, trying to get things for audit visits and monitoring visits years later and having to go down into the basements of hospitals in order to find these binders from years ago. And then I think we all feel this way in life in general, but particularly with work. Emails, the burden that has become with emails. There was one email a couple days ago, I stepped away for a 1-hour meeting, I came back and there were 13 replies to one email chain and I didn't even know which one to address first. All of these add up to this manual workflow, adding to your day-to-day, adding to these inefficiencies within your workflow, and that's what we want to hear about. The problem here is not lack of effort, it's not lack of care among our cancer centers, it's really just fragmentation, and it hits everybody involved in the workflow.